are 5 signs that you are good at love, that you are in fact a good lover. So maybe it's not you. Okay, number 1, you have the ability to hold space. I know you've heard this before, but it is soil. Let me explain what I mean by holding space. You hold a safe space, meaning the container that is around you is not toxic. You're not throwing chairs and being reactive. You are listening actively. You are pulling from your heart, not ego. You are trying to understand before trying to be understood, right? You're just holding a safe space. You're not reactive, you're not allowing what comes up for you, what triggers you, to be what's thrown in someone's face. Instead, you're non-judgmental. Basically, you're kind of like your partner's therapist. Now, you're not your partner's therapist, but you're providing that kind of space. Neutral, right? Not loaded, not pointing fingers, not coming at your partner. Very neutral, open, wide, non-judgmental. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, taking ownership. I know it sounds obvious, but many of us, we do not take ownership. Taking ownership means not just saying, oh, I'm sorry. It means, oh, I see what I'm doing here. I see my part in this. And, because that's only 50%, here's what I'm going to do about it, right? So it's the ownership is action oriented. It's not just like, oh, I noticed this. Great. Well, if you notice it, thank you. Now what, right? You need to actually put action behind the words, put action behind the revelations, or there's no change. So taking ownership. When you take ownership, there's no but you do this, but you do that. Taking ownership means that here's what I'm contributing to the conflict, the whatever is happening, right? The problem, and here's how I'm going to work on that. I'm not perfect. I will try. There is no but you have to do this, or I will do this if you do. It's not a deal, right? It's not a negotiation. And hopefully you're working on this for you. You're working on this because you want to work on it and be a better person, a better partner, not because you have to, right? Or you owe someone something, or you want to get laid, or whatever it is, right? All right, number 3, you shut up. You shut up. You don't talk. We usually, when we get into an argument, we just unload, right? I used to steamroll my partner, whoever I was with. Logic. I used to be a lawyer. I used to just not literally be a lawyer. I was not a lawyer, but I used to act like one. I used to, arguments were like we were in court and had to win this case. And of course, that makes people drift and creates shields and resentment. So just shut up, listen. And then once you are listening, by the way, listening isn't just for words. You are listening to one's energy. You're taking in the person as a whole, energy, and also their story, right? So you're considering their whole story, not just what's happening in this moment, but you're taking in the person, their energy, their story, where they're at in their lives, right? That's listening, and you're listening actively. You're not like, okay, you go first, and looking at the clock, and then, okay, you're done? Are you done? Okay. And then, then you say your piece. So you shutting your mouth first, allowing your partner to speak or express him or herself, is a sign that you're a good partner, that you are loving well. Okay, and number 4, this is one that I talk about a lot. You gotta be able to get it up, take pills, do whatever. No, I'm kidding. Number 4 is you have to love without your past. So many of us unconsciously love with residue. We love with old definitions. We compare who we're with now to who we were, and then we try to make people into someone they're not, right? I'm guilty of all of the above. Love, and it's hard to do, It's so hard to love without your past, because our experiences, they're imprinted on us, right? And so there's patterns, there's preferences, there's history. So to love without your past means to consciously, with intention, every day, love with a brand new canvas, or at least love with the history of this relationship, and without comparing this relationship to other relationships, without tracing old blueprints. And then being aware of what comes up that is the past and working on that on your own. That's your responsibility, working on that with your therapist or whoever. So loving without your past. And finally, number 5, proof that you are a good partner. Showing up daily, doing all of these things every day. It's easy to do these over, one weekend or someone's birthday or Valentine's Day or whatever, or when things are going good. It's hard to do these things consistently over time every day. So to show up daily and to hold a safe space, take ownership, shut your mouth, love without your past, love without judgment, all of the stuff that I just said in the last 5 minutes, doing it daily. That is what builds a healthy relationship. So imagine this. Imagine you have 2 people doing these things every day. Imagine the space that creates, the connection, the communication, the evolution, right? And I think that over time is what builds legs. So it's not a one-time thing. It's easy to do this when you meet someone new and that person can't do anything wrong, you can't do anything wrong, and sparks are flying and all that. It's harder to do this when things get hard, after a few years, right? When people start drifting, when there's turbulence in your life, when you're going through some shit, it's hard to do this. And so if you can, or if your partner can, hopefully both of you guys can, you guys are both great lovers, great partners. Also, let me end with this. Trust what you've built. I think it's easy, especially if you've, been with your partner for a long time. Think about all the shit you guys have been through, trust that, because it's so easy to throw that away and just, jump to a lot of reactions and decisions that we may regret. Trust that you guys have been through a lot, and that going through a lot, you have earned something that is good, that is stable, that has value.